Hi, everybody. I'm Steve. I'm here with Brian Sanchez. Brian's a personal trainer in Carson City, Fitness for 10. Thanks for being with us, Brian.
Hey, glad to be here. It's always a good time coming and talking to everybody about living life and exercising.
So, I hear a lot of stuff on, videos and podcasts and fitness experts. A popular topic where people kind of throw darts at each other is calories in, calories out. A calorie is a calorie. Well, a calorie is a measurement of energy. So technically, yes, a calorie is a calorie. A gram of fat is 9.2 uh, calories. Protein is 4. Uh, and carbohydrates are also 4. Alcohol is 7, if anybody cares. So, um, um, so the calorie is the measurement, but all food is not the same. And I think a lot of people, when they say calories in, calories out, what they're saying is there's only one way to lose weight. And what they're saying is reduce your calories, exercise more, reduce your calories. That is not a good long-term strategy because let me help put this into perspective. I could gain muscle. Now, there's a lot of variables here, and I'll give you an example. A person could gain muscle while in a calorie deficit. Okay, now, you're not going to lose weight on the scale unless you are in a calorie deficit. But how do you get to that calorie deficit? I propose that the best way is not reducing your calories and reducing your calories and reducing your calories. There's other ways to get into a calorie deficit. So, to lose weight, I need to be in a calorie deficit. But how do I get in that calorie deficit? That's what's not hit on enough. And like I said, I could be losing weight in a calorie deficit while I'm putting on muscle. Now, that's easier if I have 35 or 40% body fat. That's pretty easy to do. You know, I gained 1 pound of muscle, I lost 2 pounds of fat. I lost 1 pound. I'm in a calorie deficit, but I put muscle on. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, yeah, and that'll go when you're putting on muscle and things like that. It's really going to your body fat percentages. They make the adjustments. Um, Time and time again, we get asked these types of things, and I guess the easy answer is calories in versus calories out. I get it, but I agree that it's not the same for everybody. First off, and we say it a lot. The individuals, when people are told this is how I lost weight, everybody tries to do the same thing. It's like when 100 people get on the new fad diet, you know, 15% of those 100 are going to be successful, the rest aren't. And there's because their bodies are all different. And we can't create the one system. And when it comes into calories in versus calories out, we get a lot of the time people coming in because they have what they call a calorie deficit because they're trying to lose weight. And I'll just use an arbitrary number. Let's just say 1,300 calories. And they've set it up. They've talked to their people, whoever their guiding light is in the calorie world. And they said no more than 1,300 calories and you're going to lose weight. And then they find out, well, shoot, I lost 10 pounds, but I can't lose any more because the body starts to plateau. Well, then you have to come up with creative ways to make adjustments so that, yeah, you have to maintain a caloric deficit, but you're going to have to probably create something to do that. You may have to start gaining muscle, which means you're going to have to fuel your body more, which means you're going to have to eat more than what you did in the past. So what are you going to do? You're going to work out harder in the gym to burn more calories, but you're going to eat more calories, but you're still going to be under, in theory, the amount of calories for the day after your workout. So let's just say I come in and I do an hour workout and I drop 350 calories in that workout. And I increased my food, my protein by 60 grams. So I added to my 1,300 to 1,500 calories. But in all reality, I'm still below and in a deficit, even though I brought in more food. I brought in a clean source to fuel my muscle so that I could gain that muscle mass. In turn, it's going to reduce my body fat because I had to use that body fat as energy. So, yeah, calories in versus calories out is something that's discussed a lot, but it's not about setting a specific number that you stay at. And you should create that environment in your body and eat a healthy amount of food so that you can maintain your weight loss. And the more I see people in strength training, which is what we do a lot of here at our facility, the more they need food in that calorie world. They just have to know that you have to have these workout systems. Now, you're not going to come in and come in at a 1,300 calorie diet and go to a 3,300 calorie diet and expect to lose weight because you would be in a 2,000 plus. What you'd have to do is create the environment so that you add food for your muscle and add food for your energy, but you stay below your overall expenditure. And we can always show people simple formulas to guesstimate or estimate, if you will, their overall expenditure of energy for that day, which would keep them in a calorie deficit. Some of the applications out there that people will pick up do some of that for you, where you will punch in your workout and it will add to how many calories were burned during that workout. And it will basically tell you got to eat a little more food because you're too low. And the body starts plateauing when you don't have enough in there.
Yeah, it's like I get sick of, I mean, look, so the same amount of calories eating Twinkies is not the same if you're eating the same amount of calories eating broccoli. It's not the same. Your body's going to respond differently. And the calories in, calories out method of, okay, I'm going to lose weight, but I'm going to cut my calories and cut my calories. You're right. Your body's going to slow down, slow down, slow down. It's called starving. And your body doesn't like that. And your body's not stupid. So you have to definitely create that caloric deficit. But in my opinion, the best way to do that is not by continually reducing your calories. It won't work.
It's eventually going to stop the calorie loss, in my opinion. Now, obviously, there's doctors out there that, for whatever reason, that might do that with you. Well, listen to them and do your doctor's advice. But when you're coming to work with us, we're going to give you some guidance that might help you. I had a client, and I believe I talked about it a few weeks ago in one of the discussions we had, where she was in a calorie deficit when she signed up and she didn't know why she wasn't losing any more weight and she was going along this adventure. Oddly enough, we looked at her food intake and the choices in those calories were awful. They were such high sugar that they were trying to maintain calories and eat whatever they wanted in the sense of like the sweets and things like that. It didn't work out for the body. They were in a calorie deficit, but their body stopped losing weight for whatever reason. What we did was we cleaned up the food and we increased the caloric value, and she absolutely lost body fat and started to come down in size. And on the scale number went down as well. And we increased how much she was eating. But caveat, we created the deficit through exercise.
Yeah. There's lots of ways to do it. And we've all seen that little skinny person who just eats and eats and eats. It works in reverse. The more food and calories you're taking in, your body's going to say, hey, I got to speed up. I got to go faster. So it works that way too.
Right. And it's okay to eat clean and a lot of calories. Now, if you're overdoing it, you're going to know. You're not, that belt's going to get tired, and then you know to reduce your caloric value for the day. But generally, when you're working out hard and you're exercising, you have an active lifestyle, you can eat more than what you really think you can. And these, you know, dropping below 1,200 calories, unless you're working with a doctor, I don't recommend that for nobody.
Right. And, at at 1200 calories, and you say that, okay, you stop losing weight. Well, guess what? You're eating 1200 calories, and if you're not losing weight, you are not in a calorie deficit. And that is
Correct.
not good. You're at 1200 calories and you are not in a calorie deficit, which you aren't if you're not losing weight. Not good.
It's
You're in a
because they
bad
can't
spot.
move. They can't
You're in a
move.
bad
They're
spot.
they're too tired.
Yeah. Well, always a great conversation, Brian. Appreciate it. Guys have questions, put them in the comment. This is a great topic. If you want to argue with us, let's do it. There's so many, a lot of you are thinking, well, what about this? What about that? And you could be right, because there's so many variables when we bring up the topic, calories in, calories out. So
It's different for everybody. There's medical reasons for what doctors recommend that we cannot, change when people come in here. We stick to what their doctors say. But for the average person, we can make adjustments with their calories and we can create a deficit and we can lose weight.
thanks for being with us, Brian. Brian is at Fitness for 10 in Carson City, Nevada. Always appreciate your input.
Take care, everyone. Have a great day.